My name is Willie Brown, and this is my story. This is my mother, this is my grandfather, and this is Miss Egley, who introduced me to Fast ForWord, which changed my life.
Willie Brown was born into a family that valued education, and Willie loved being read to as a child, especially books about dinosaurs and dogs. But as Willie reached the age to begin reading on his own, his mother was concerned.
I was trying to teach him how to tie his shoes, and he would tie them backwards. When he was trying to learn how to write, he would write letters backwards. You know, I knew in my heart something was wrong, but I kept thinking, well, you're not a teacher, Belinda, so you don't know how to teach Willie.
But the concerns continued. Early on, Willie was put in special ed classes where teachers tried but couldn't help him make sense of words on a page.
It became apparent to me that he couldn't read, and that was something that tugged on my sleeve.
I would practice his words over and over with her. And I remember I would see my mom sometimes start crying because she didn't know what was wrong with me, because I would practice these words over and over and I would not get them.
They began a long, frustrating journey of testing, seeing doctors and specialists, trying to diagnose his problems, but they didn't find any answers.
I won't do no more testing, Mama. I said, but we got to test so we can fix it. You know, they're going to tell us what's wrong. And I dragged this kid everywhere.
So I always felt more and more like no one knew what was wrong with me, no one could help me.
It was an emotional roller coaster, an emotional struggle.
At the age of 15, Willie was diagnosed with severe dyslexia and told he'd never be able to read.
At that time, I was just kind of thinking to myself, who can help me? And we went to the best people. Everyone has recommended this man, and there's no one out there to help us.
After a while, when a child or anyone has a learning disability, they try and cover it up.
My mom started getting phone calls. Willie has a behavior problem now. He's starting to shut down. He's starting to disrupt the class. We lived in an okay neighborhood, but not a great neighborhood until the gangs were around. And of course, I was the perfect target for him. A kid with no dreams, no hopes, and no ambitions.
And I knew I was like on that brink, on that fence, about to lose my son.
Willie was put into a school program called on-the-job training, sweeping floors and stacking trays, a sign that the system had given up on him.
When you got teachers and educators telling you, hey, we don't have nothing for you to do, we can't help you, then that right there was just pretty much a low blow.
I said, no, we got to try to do something else. I didn't know whether it would work, but I had to try.
A change of scenery put Willie into a new school, a school that used the Fast ForWord program. Principal Jackie Egley encouraged Willie to give Fast ForWord a try.
I sat down with Willie and I shared with him the neuroscience behind the design of this. I knew that he had been through many, many different products and programs and worked with a lot of specialists in his years of schooling. So I wanted to share with him how this was different.
I was like, when I'm hearing these sounds and things like that, I don't know, this ain't going to help me.
And I kept reassuring him that trust the system, it's going to work well for you.
And she said, you know what, Willie? It's like lifting weights. She said, those first 2-3 weeks, you're not going to see results. But that 4th and 5th week, you're going to start seeing that bulge.
Sure enough, the moment of magic was just around the corner for Willie. Still unaware of the progress he was making, he sat down with his grandfather, who always insisted that Willie read the Orlando Sentinel out loud to him. Willie, of course, would struggle with the words and give up fast. But on that day, something different happened.
And I remember this like it was yesterday. American Pit Bull Terrier ADBA registered. 6 males, 2 females. 250 to 350. So I looked again. Doberman Pinscher AKC registered Warlock Bloodline. 3 males. 750, 850.
Wait a minute. That's Willie. And when Willie was reading, he was reading something about dogs.
So I said, Grandpa, can I show you something? And he said, yeah. He said, what? And that day, I read chickens, the snakes, the cats, the dogs, the guinea pigs, the fish tanks that I did with my grandfather.
He came up to my office. He came bounding up the stairs.
I went straight to Miss Egley's office and I just gave her a great big hug and I said, thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for not pushing me off to the side and saying, you know what, I don't have the time, the tools, or the patience to help you. And thank you for giving me something back that I thought I lost. And those were my dreams.
Willie didn't just learn to read. He became a reader. And after struggling through most of grade school, middle school, and part of high school, Willie will be attending college in the fall. Willie is living proof that Fast ForWord can help students who are struggling to read at any age.
He saw success for the first time. There's no better feeling for an administrator or an educator to know that you are turning the life around for a young man who could have gone a different way.
I was reading every book back to back, telling people about books. And, I had friends like, man, you always read, man. Come on, let's go play five. Nah, let me just read this real quick. I'm almost done. This is a good story.
It gave him courage. It brought back that child that was outgoing.
You have to trust this tool. You absolutely have to trust this tool.
Well, Fast ForWord has changed my life. So many doors and so many things are open out there for me now that I would never think was possible. I can feel like I can be anything and I can do anything that I want.